Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host Lisa Richardson with South Coastal FCA, and today we're coming to you with a special episode to preview all of the high school sports fall outlook.
And I'm Annalisa Idkor from outside Hilton Head, and we're very excited to talk about the guests that we have coming up.
Absolutely. Our first guests joining us today are the athletic directors, Kenny Conroy from Hilton Head Christian Academy and Matt Dakolios from John Paul II.
And in our second segment, we'll be talking to Brett Macy from May River High School and Cody Slaughter from Bluffton High School.
In our final segment, we have Joe Mominair, the athletic director at Hilton Head Island High School. So stick around for another episode of 843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
.843 TV, where Bluffton comes to speak.
Where Spring Island comes to speak.
Where Hilton Head Island comes to speak.
Where Beaufort comes to speak.
.843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
Welcome to 843 TV for our special Fall Sports High School Outlooks program today. And joining us first up are John Paul II. We've got Matt Dakolios, Athletic Director, and Athletic Director at Christian Academy, Mr. Kenny Conroy. Always good to see you both together today. How about that?
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So I understand this past Friday night, the sports season started off with quite a bang with that epic football game. We won't get into that, but good way to start, right? Good way to start. So Kenny, you're in your 6th year now at Christian Academy. Fall sports has begun. Obviously, share with us the different sports you have offered and what we can expect.
Yes, we've gotten off and rolling already to our fall sports program. Cross country has gotten started with the little Bluffton Scorcher this past weekend. We'll be hosting our own matchup coming up next week at Jarvis Creek Park. We're going to host a local match. Then swimming gets started, going to Palmetto Christian this week. Of course, football Friday night started, and volleyball started out with some wins last night against Habersham School.
Well, there you go.
Tennis will be, I think we open up with John Paul
Thursday.
in tennis Thursdays tomorrow. So
That's
it's off and rolling.
Yeah. It sure is.
Now, you know, I would venture to guess that most of our listeners are very familiar with the Christian Academy, and unbelievably, you guys are already going into your 5th year. I mean, I remember when the school was getting built, and it feels like it was just yesterday. So because some of our viewers may not be as familiar with John Paul II, and I know we're talking about sports today, but how do parents and students learn more about just getting involved with the school?
Sure, I mean, you know, our selling points are basically Catholic education. Catholic education has a great national reputation. You have 99% graduation rate nationally, 86% that attend four-year colleges, SAT scores that are greater than 30 points above the national average, and we like to think that we do Catholic school really well. When we tell students and student athletes that come through the door, if you're here because of athletics, your priorities are off. You know, our families send their kids here because they want excellent academics. They want a structured and faith-based, unapologetic character education, and we tell them sports are a bonus. And it's a great bonus, but, you know, be there for the right reasons.
I love that you have that attitude as an athletic director, because
And I know Christian Academy would say the same thing.
Sure. So tell us about the sports that you do have.
So in fall, we have football, obviously, and then we have volleyball, cross country, tennis, and then cheerleading. And we've been lucky enough to retain all our coaches throughout the whole year, all our head varsity coaches, which is a luxury. And you know, we like to think that our coaches are first and foremost role models. We want to put our students in front of adults that their parents want them around.
Sure, of course.
So Kenny, I know that you're sort of the face of the sports program for today, but coming up, do we have any coaching changes this fall?
Yes, well, we made a big change with a football coach this past year. With Ron Paduzzi taking over as the head football coach, and Ron does a great job. He's been involved in the community here for 15 years now, has coached at some different places here, coached at the college level a little bit, and has done a great job with that. Wendy Cummings has taken over as our cross-country coach for the year. James Berry, who was our cross-country coach, his wife just had a baby, so So he's stepped down for a
His hands
year
full.
and went to the back picture, and still is a little bit involved in helping Wendy stay organized and point her in the right direction with matches and meets and where to go. So that's one well, and Melanie Hilton is still our swim coach, as well as Eric is still our tennis coach, and Eddie is our cheerleading coach. So, we try, as everyone tries to do, we try to retain our coaches and keep them active. For our old football coach, Matt Smith, is now what we call our athletic chaplain for athletics. He's still our baseball coach, and he is now mentoring the coaches as well as the student athletes in day-to-day tasks and difficulties they face, and sitting down with them and putting them in the right direction.
Which is a great focus, because that will translate onto the field over time, of course. So we know that you've had some success definitely with some of the fall sports, with swimming and so forth. You're rebuilding football. What do you forecast for these individual sports?
Well, I think we're going to have a great year with our teams. The volleyball team is very strong. They're very competitive. We don't have a senior on the team, which is another great thing, a good problem to have, because it's going to create some healthy competition for the other ones who are rising up from the JV program. Swimming is going to be very strong. We have some very good swimmers, and cross country with some runners. They're individual team sports, but they do fare well. And football, I think we showed Friday night we have a new look, and we have an exciting team, and we've opened things up a little bit, and I'm hoping for the best with football.
Sure.
That sounds cool. Now, as hosts, we do our best to sort of do our homework on who we're going to be talking to. And when I was taking a look at John Paul II, I noticed within your core values, you focus a lot on diversity. What does that look like when you're looking at the athletic program and the school itself?
Yeah, so I mean, it is one of our 6 core values, so we take it very seriously. I think, in a nutshell, we want our students to be around people that aren't exactly like them. We have religious diversity, surprisingly, for a Catholic school. 1/4 of our students are non-Catholic, so we do take non-Catholic students. We have a great diversity in terms of artistic diversity, athletic diversity, socioeconomic. And like I said, we want to make sure our students are heterogeneously grouped. And one of the ways we do that, we actually have a house system. And I don't know if you guys are fans of Harry Potter, it's basically our students are sorted into 4 houses.
I love it.
So they're not just all around their best friends all the time. They're in mentorship groups with people that have totally different experiences in them.
Do they stay in those houses for the 4 years?
They do, yeah, and it's their lifetime, and their siblings would be in the same house when they come.
Wow.
So it's a really good way to bring our core values, making sure they're diverse, the students are grouped up differently, and it translates just like Christian Academy's values, it translates to the field.
That's really cool.
And on that note, too, being a Christian organization, what are the key things, as an athletic director, you hope that athletes will take from the classroom onto the competition field?
Well, we really try to look at our coaches as well as our faculty that we're in ministry, and we're ministering to our student athletes and bringing the Lord into their lives and making them feel positive about being a Christian, and being that it also shows them that they're able to compete on the field and battle as well. And I think our coaches do a great job with it. I think our faculty does a great job with it, and we think that's our focus as we move forward into the next couple years.
Well, it's very refreshing to see a sports organization from 2 gentlemen from 2 schools that are so well-rounded and offer such a full life view rather than it's just all about the win.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we look forward to coming out and seeing the fall sports, and we look forward to you all staying with us for another segment coming up of 843 TV.